Alright guys, I'm here with a few friends, Brittany and Jesse. I'm going to ask them a few questions about social media and the uses that they have for it. First off, Brittany, you're a vlogger. Can you explain a little bit about that and what you use to do it? You have a camera. You use YouTube to promote yourself and show social media. Yeah.
Social media. I basically, just film myself doing videos and then edit on Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
Do some thumbnail pictures,
Yeah.
which are super important.
Yeah.
And then I promote on social media.
Awesome. So, in the social media world, what would you say is your most useful tool? Would you say Instagram, Snapchat?
Instagram.
Okay.
Snapchat's getting very popular though for promoting YouTube videos.
Good to know.
YouTube, in general, you can pretty much promote anywhere. I feel like promoting links is probably best to do on Twitter.
Yeah.
But you don't get a lot of feedback or stuff like that on Twitter. Instagram's great because people like visual things, so I find I get the most interaction through Instagram.
Interesting. So on the YouTube note, is it been a growing thing since you started doing this a few years ago, or is it? I feel like YouTube's one of those things now that's just like generic in every household. Like everybody uses YouTube.
YouTube, like if you want something, you just YouTube it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you need to know how to do anything, there's always a video for it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And since I started, it's been pretty consistent with its growth, so
okay.
Yeah, it's a good tool.
Awesome. And there's Casper, and again, this video is just reiterating how people now are in, guys. So I'm gonna ask the final question here to my lovely friend Brittany. At the end of the day, we came through the social media kind of revolution that happened. I just want you guys to state some of the positives and then maybe some of the negatives you guys see with social media. I'll let Jesse have the floor first.
Well, I think there's positives in the fact that just with meeting people, you can communicate with them right away.
Yeah.
For instance, like you meet someone, and before you would maybe never see that person again.
Yeah.
Now, if you're networking or if you're trying to get a job, you meet someone at a conference or something like that, and the next day you can connect with them. You can be periodically sending them messages and updates, and with new friends as well.
Yeah.
So say if you used to go to college. And
I'm just trying to reiterate what you're saying. What you're saying is that, like, one of the big positives is the networking ability and the ability to just be interconnected with everyone from, your friends from Scotland, your friends from, India, your friends here. So, I gotta agree with you. I think that's a great point. Do you think there's any negatives of social media? Because you're hearing a lot of this, like cyberbullying and all this stuff that comes with this new media. Do you have any input on that?
Yeah, well, with things like Twitter and Facebook, a lot of the problem is fake accounts, or people lying, or people tricking people.
Yeah, the catfishing and all that.
Yeah. So, and then also when you come with that, what comes with that is like addiction.
Yeah.
Or people that feel, with Instagram especially, it's like fear of missing out.
Yeah.
So you think someone's life is super lavish, and it makes people hate their lives and think they're not special.
Yeah.
You see what people want you to see.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like that's one of for me, like, one of the negatives is that kind of like exclusivity that happens where, like, you're that person, like, you claim like you're this big kind of thing, but, like, you're not, and, like, you can play like you're totally, like, I just feel like there's too many fronts you can do, and I think that's one of, like, the problems, especially with this younger generation, is they're so reliant on, like, upholding that front that they put a lot of stress on themselves, and, like, there's a lot of unnecessary stuff out there.
You have to take everything on social media
With a grain of salt. That's a valid point.
You can't take it too personally or too seriously.
Yeah.
There's definitely pros and cons.
Yeah, and that's another good point. Like, people definitely take shit seriously on the internet, and that, like, it's everyone knows everything when you're on the internet, right? Like, if you've ever looked at any YouTube comment or even Instagram comment feed, like, everyone knows everything. So I think that's in my opinion, that's one of the negatives. I don't know. I just see it like it's almost so much information that it's too much information. Like, it's an information overload. Exactly.
The other problem that I've noticed, especially with like YouTube, is when people don't have their social media or Twitter, there's a lot more
Yeah.
Or you're not going to say something to someone in person, but you're going to say something like "go kill yourself" to someone for something that doesn't have to do with you whatsoever.
Yeah.
You have no consequences. You think you have no consequences or something like that.
Yeah, you kind of have that power to say and do whatever because it's not associated with you. So who cares?
A lot of times it can happen where it's a 15-year-old YouTuber and people are telling them to go die or something like that, where they're not emotionally strong enough to be able to handle comments like that, and they're hearing it from people.
Yeah, all the time. So I gotta agree with you on that. That's like you said, like the abuse that can come with this new media is kind of a problem.
Especially with the
well, one of the things I thought was interesting was I just saw a study of how ISIS recruits people like through Twitter, and I thought there's got to be a way to monitor that. Like it doesn't. It's out there, but like if you're using this to like be a terrorist organization, so like how shouldn't there be some sort of regulations on that, or does that kind of change the whole thing of what Twitter is?
It kind of does change everything because it's like you can monitor everybody, I guess, but it all depends on who's using it.
Right. Yeah. So you get into that privacy concern thing of should they monitor? Because like 95% of them out there are, I'm sure, good, normal, regular people, but you get that 5% radical people who are promoting this crime and injustice that's happening over there, and it's like, where do you draw the line between privacy and like safety? Exactly. That's like, is it too much to want to have them like, for me, like I got nothing to hide, right? So like if they want to monitor for me, it's I don't care, but like I can see the other side of the argument, like that now they're in, like they have too much power, the government and all that stuff. So ending on that note, but at the end of the day, just give me one or two of your favorite things that you guys have with social media.
Instagram.
Yeah. So again, Brittany here is a vlogger, so she's this kind of the social media guru here. But yeah, so you're an Instagram fan. That's the number one. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think for me, I'm more Snapchat, but I do love Instagram.
Snapchat, actually, I love Snapchat. I don't use it for my YouTube, but I love Snapchat and I love Instagram.
Yeah. What about you, Luna? What do you got to say about this, Casper? I'm sure you guys love Snapchat because you're famous. Jesse?
I'd probably say just Twitter, just because
the real world information.
You can get anything.
Yeah.
I mean, and you don't have people that are 16-year-olds that are trying to. Well, you do sometimes have people forcing FOMO, fear of missing out, and my life's better than you and lavish lifestyle.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more limited, and you have a lot more real people and business people and people that want to provide information.
Yeah, Casper, provide information.
Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Alright guys, back again here with my friend Jesse. First off, can you just explain a little bit about what you use social media for as a college student?
Oh, I use Twitter mostly. The thing about Twitter is it's all ages. So you'll have, like for instance, we're in the US, we have mayors, city councilors, they have blogs, but they predominantly use Twitter.
Okay.
And even in the business world. So if you have mergers or acquisitions of major businesses, you're going to hear about that first and foremost on Twitter.
So you like to use it as more of a keeping updated tool and in with the times kind of thing versus as a waste of time like a lot of people do.
Current events, sports, you name it, like any major corporation or organization is going to be passing information about their company and about current events through Twitter. And it's for all ages. I've seen people that are 85, 90 years old on Twitter, whereas Instagram and Snapchat is going to be something that's going to be more towards probably 25 and under.
Yeah.
So when you're focusing on social media, if you have a target market that's within that range, then you're going to want to be working with Instagram or Snapchat if you have younger, more millennials.
Yeah, I was going to say for me, I use Instagram and Snapchat. I don't have Facebook or Twitter, but I like you said, like I like to follow people that like keep me updated. Like I follow CNN, I follow The Score, and I follow some of these other sites that it's more of an updating thing than it is, I think, of I don't know, as a waste of time like a lot of people see it. So my point that I wanted to make here is that like overall social media has kind of changed the way in which we get information.
Oh yeah.
And at the end of the day, like before, you'd read a newspaper or you would you'd kind of hear about it on TV, but now I feel like it's like, for me on my phone, I get an update I see the Paris attacks. Like I'm driving, I get a boom boom like CNN update. So
well, even with CNN, like if you're looking for the news for like events like that,
Yeah.
especially extreme events like that, Twitter will be you'll be ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So like when the Paris attacks happened, I had people that I followed that were just regular people from England, from France,
yeah,
and stuff because I follow sports.
yeah.
And they were giving me information and
Before it
updates
was happening,
and
almost.
retweeting even people around the area.
Yeah.
Before CNN would even take CNN 15 more minutes to get that information.
Wow. So that's a good
Yeah.
thing, or like a good point right there, and then in the actual the amount of people that use it now, and how it is that predominant. Like first thing you do when you see something like that, you tweet it or you update it, and then your friends see it, and this globalization of networking here that's happened is just it's astonishing how it's gone.
And the other positive thing about Twitter
Yeah.
is that you have unbiased news. So whereas if you have Fox News or if you have CNN,
Yeah.
even CNN tries to be unbiased, but there is some cases where they have owners that are for profit,
Yeah.
and they have biases, and they can
Exactly,
push
you're
those
right.
biases into CNN. Whereas when you have Twitter, a lot of the times it's just regular people or small journalists or freelance journalists that are not trying to give biased information.
Yeah.
Sometimes it depends. You
Yeah,
can still
no,
find
I get
Fox
that.
people, but
Yeah, that's cool. All right, Jesse, thank you for your time.